Hey, you know what, the big bad black sheep? Hat a fire, not a pretender or liar. And I would love to tell you a story. Now, trigger warning. This is a story about a little boy that was murdered due to child neglect, child abuse, and molestation. So this happened in my community. You know, I am actually right in the yard that I live in. And you know, where I live now, you know, I grew up here. I still live with my mother, you know. So this incident happened back in like 2010. You know, I was like 11 at the time. So the yard that I live in, how it is set up, right? Me coming out to the entrance of my house, there is another house, you know, in my view, which has two entrances, which, you know, is suitable for rental if, you know, the owner chooses, you know, that option. But anyway, so that year, that family member rented the space to this male, and when he came, you know, to live here, he brought his girlfriend with his 1-year-old son and her 4-year-old son. So the girlfriend was a prostitute, and the male is basically like, you know, a stay-at-home dad or something like that. Yeah. Jamaican people would have called him mama, man, but that's for another saying. So with them living here now, you know, and it was like for a couple months, because it wasn't for long until you know, the incident occurred. So the girlfriend, you know, that female would leave to go do her work, right? And she would leave for long periods of time, sometimes even a week. And she would leave her son with, you know, her boyfriend. Let's call him Tallman. So she leave her son with Tallman, and that put him in a very frustrated state, I would say, because he would call her most of the time, arguing for her to come and get her child, right? And sometimes us being here, we, like me, my family, and the family member that lives right next door to him, we would like witness him abusing his girlfriend's child, you know, some very excessive and violent ways, like brutal beatings, saying that he is, you know, defecating on himself, and it was just brutal, you know, just some very brutal way he was taking out his anger on that child. And sometimes we notice even that he would play music very loudly. Yeah. So she ended up came back, and the dysfunction wasn't hidden because he would even abuse the girlfriend, you know. He would brutally beat up his girlfriend as well. So her living with him here, it was like constant fighting between the two. Yeah. And till one day she left, and she never returned. And for those 2 months, I would say, she left, you know. He was calling her, and you know, the same repetitive pattern, you know, arguing, saying she should come for her son, and yeah, all of that. So it come to a point where when we see the children, because sometimes he will say that he doesn't even have, you know, money to even give the children food, but the children were were malnourished, you see. And it's not just because he doesn't have any money, it's because he's a mentally unstable person. Because it we come to find out that, all right, so one day he was just like, for the time that the girlfriend left, he was just constantly brutally abusing and just beating on the little boy, saying that he is defecating on himself every minute and all of that. So one day, one morning, you know, he rushed out of his part of dwelling, and he came up to my house. And let me not get to that part. We started to grow concerned till one day police showed up, right? And it was the family member that rented the part to him that called the police. And he got offended by that, you know. Nothing happened at the time. And that family member ended up telling him that I was the one that called the police on him. You know, I was 11 at the time. I am not aware of even certain darkness that, you know, human beings are capable of doing in certain way. But yeah, one rising, he rushed out of his house to ask for assistance, you know, to get a cab, because he was saying that the little boy wasn't breathing. And when my brother was here at the time, and he rushed out to help him, you know, and to get a car. So when he came out with the little boy was, you know, emaciated, which is very, you know, skinny due to maybe illness or, starvation. And he also had some cocoa bumps on his forehead. So when he ended up at the hospital with the little boy, the little boy was pronounced dead, right? And he was also tested for molestation, rape. So Tallman was having sex with the 4-year-old little boy. Yeah. And not only him, even his only son, he was molesting. Yeah. Tallman was starving the child and sexually abusing the child. His mother never returned for him, you know. And most of all, my heart feels for the child, mostly. Because people don't understand that they're operating from pure animal instincts. Yeah. Which is darkness. Now, it developed a case, and to the point where even my mother was involved. I don't even know why, because she wasn't even the one that rented the space to Tallman, you know. But she was called to court. And when she told me her experience with being in the courtroom with Tallman, you know, Tallman is not a normal man, even with his mother by his side. Yeah. Because I've spoke about it in my reasonings about mothers that work witchcraft to keep, you know, their sons out of jail, because they know that these males are monsters. Seeing? And my mother told me that she saw Tallman with this kerchief at his nose like this the whole time in the courtroom. Yeah. Now, I've heard about cases where this familiar case one time in Jamaica, where this female was raped by 2 males. And the person who told me this story, you know, he was in jail with those 2 males at the time that they had court. Yeah. And he told me that he said that they said that they're going to bust the case. And he said, "Oh, you're sure? How are you so sure about that?" And he said that, you know, watch and see, because what he has done, and in specific, you know, of what he has done, him fuck a monkey, you see. And in my curiosity, I asked, "A monkey?" He must say, "Yeah." And him said, me I say, "Oh, like what kind of monkey?" And he described the monkey, like the monkey from, if you ever watch Pirates of the Caribbean, that little monkey that was in the movie. He said a monkey like that. So he said that the 2 males went to the Obeah man, and the Obeah man told them that they would have to do that. And they said that the monkey just came out and just lay down in front of them and just spread its legs, you know. But him say, yeah, The man them said them put some blood clot fuck on the monkey. You see it? Just for bust a case. Yeah. Some limits where some man go just to not face the consequences of their actions. Yeah. Now, nothing never really came out of the case with that child. You know. But nothing stays hidden, you know. And even though Tallman feel like him probably not face the consequences back then, me know say him can't run, you know, for long. If was could talk, you know, man, a whole heap of people in a trouble. Yeah. A whole heap of people stay silent when corruption a go on. But let it be gossip and drama. They spread that quick and fast. They're quick to speak about those things, but when it comes to corruption and pure fuckery, yeah, they rather to stay silent about those things. People like to talk about good men are around, but good men hold other men accountable, don't they? Yeah. But never hear nobody say them want to kill Tallman or them want to do Tallman anything. I saw his mother came for his things. Yeah. I saw how she protected him. While she knew that he did what he did, you know. I don't know why I even, you know, come up with this story, but I feel like maybe me a channel a little boy the spirit, because many people just go on and forget about things, you know, that happened like it's nothing. And then they repeat the same pattern, you see. People not gonna like me because, you know, I don't keep secrets. And when I say I don't keep secrets, because I am a confidential person, you know. I don't love people business. But when it comes to dysfunction and corruption, I not gonna stay silent. I not gonna stay silent with that, you know. Yeah. Somehow no man love dick so much. When you can't see, you know, it cloud on a judgment so much. I remember a female that I told something that, you know, that about males, you know, and she said that it was a lie. And I recently heard like she dated this male and he ended up, you know, beating her and her son up. I'm like, whoa. But you see, I saw a quote that says, being labeled crazy means that you are right too early. I hope this can just spread even the awareness, you know, to even keep an eye out and see that, you know, what's really happening in your environment around and who the people really are. You see, because I mean, COVID over, but people been wearing masks for like forever, you know. And that's why I just rather for just stay one way, because I can't bother for put on any myself, you see. Yeah. So just big up yourself, you know. I look up for you. Go and take care.